How are you all doing? It's a jackpot season. Just yesterday, I got a message that somebody very close to the family will be relocating out of the country. I'm very happy for them, but I also know that their leaving will leave a very huge vacuum in our life as a family. But I wish them well. Um, and these days, it's as if you're not considering relocating out of the country and you have the means, it's as if something is wrong with you. Just last week I got a call from a friend in the US that went on and on about why I should relocate out of the country because he thinks that very soon some European countries will stop issuing visas to Nigeria. And with the way things are going, it's as if next year is going to be the end of Nigeria. And that for those of us that are left behind, left behind, that sounds more like rapture. For those of us that are left behind, like something terrible is going to happen to us. But I guess everybody has a purpose. Yes, I believe that everybody has a purpose. And I also know that not everybody will be able to relocate out of the country at the same time. So especially for youth who are undergraduates, fresh graduates, or youth that have less than 3 years experience, I believe that I'm called at such a time like this to help you. For those of you that are struggling so desperately to either get a job or find a to find your feet as far as building a career is concerned, I believe that I'm called at such a time like this to guide you, and I'll do the best that I can to fulfill this purpose. So today, let's take this journey a bit further. We're still considering a career in supply chain management. So we'll be considering things like the job function, the salary expectation, the outlook of the job, the future of the job, and how to gain entry into the career, and how to grow. Yes, those are the things that I will be considering today. Okay, so let's assume for a minute, just a minute, that you are the supply chain manager of a manufacturing company that produces sanitary towels somewhere in Songo Ota. Your responsibilities will include activities surrounding warehousing of products, from production to warehousing the product. And yes, warehousing the products. Of course, nobody expects you to be at all the warehouses, but it is your responsibility to ensure prompt availability of products whenever and wherever they are needed by wholesalers. Yes. Of course, what I've just described in 3 sentences are some of the key responsibilities of a senior officer within the supply chain management process. Nobody expects you as an entry level person or somebody that is just trying to gain entry into the career to have that type of experience. But if you paid attention, I made mention of some aspect of supply chain management, which includes things like warehousing, inventory management, logistics, and procurement. Yes, and so those are the entry level points for a fresh graduate or somebody who is trying to gain entry into the career. You might have despised the job function of a warehouse or an inventory officer and consider it beneath you before now. But if you realize that with 3 years as solid experience in all of this aspect of supply chain management, you can actually take control of your future and build a successful career. Then you will sit down and map out a strategy of how to garner the type of experience needed to build the type of career that you've always dreamt about. And that strategy would have started from when you were an undergraduate, and it will reflect in the type of holiday jobs that you volunteered for. The strategy will also involve you sitting down to identify some of these Chinese companies. Yes, some of the Chinese companies that produces cheap products, they have very big warehouse. And so it's a matter of getting the job description of a supply chain manager identifying all the experiences that you need and just knocking them off one by one. Yes. A career is a long-term thing. Yes. And it requires a strategy. And in this case, the strategy will involve identifying the pivotal aspect of supply chain management that I've highlighted earlier on, and identifying where you can garner the type of experience that will enable you build a successful career. I can guarantee you that if you're dedicated, within 3 years, you will be ready to start earning a very reasonable salary. I understand the rush to want to earn immediately, but like anything good, it requires time. Any career, any good career requires you to build for a while before you start earning a reasonable salary. And talking about salary, the salary expectation for a supply chain manager ranges from 4 million to 24 million naira in Nigeria. Yes, I understand that the range is very wide, but it's dependent on years of experience and the type of organization you find yourself. In terms of qualification, the minimum qualification is OND. With OND, you can become an inventory officer, but you're expected to continue to upgrade before you can become a manager. The most important skills is the experience. So all the experiences that I've talked about, so it's the responsibilities on you to look for opportunities to garner the experience that will enable you secure the job. And in terms of the future outlook, as long as there are consumers, as long as there is a need for importation, as long as there is need to move product from the point of production to the final consumer, there will always be the need for a supply chain manager. On this note, I've come to the end of this particular episode. Let's do this again sometimes maybe before the end of a week. Till I come your way again. I'm saying Oda.